but yeah, three officers down.
How difficult is this to police?
Off the scale. It's off the scale today. With the resources we've got, it's difficult.
Over recent days, riots have erupted across Britain, sparking fears of more far-right, anti-immigrant violence this week. The new UK government is struggling to manage the worst unrest in over a decade. In Plymouth on Monday night, police officers were injured as angry crowds stormed the city. This latest violence followed far-right agitators setting fire to hotels, housing asylum seekers, leaving residents trapped and terrified. The unrest began during an anti-immigrant misinformation campaign incited outrage over a stabbing that killed 3 children in Southport. In response, Prime Minister Keir Starmer chaired his first COBRA session to address the disorder, condemning the violence as organised, violent thuggery. The riots are the first major crisis for Starmer since taking office a month ago. Over the weekend, violent protesters gathered in various UK cities, including Rotherham and Tamworth, where they set fire to hotels believed to house asylum seekers. The Home Office announced increased security for masks amid the violence. More than 370 people have been arrested, with authorities using facial recognition technology to identify more suspects. The unrest was triggered by the Southport stabbing, which far-right groups falsely linked to immigrants, fueling anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant sentiments. Starmer has condemned the violence as far-right thuggery, highlighting the rise of anti-migrant rhetoric in recent years. In last month's general election, Reform UK, a populist right-wing party led by Nigel Farage, gained significant support, finishing third overall with a strong anti-migration platform. Although Farage condemned the recent riots, he pointed to deeper long-term problems like soft policing of prior anti-racism protests and the fracturing of communities due to mass migration. Some Conservative lawmakers, whose party has also shifted right on migration, rebuffed such qualifications. Former Home Secretary Priti Patel emphasised that violence and thuggery are unacceptable, while MP Diane Abbott criticised Farage, suggesting his rhetoric fueled the unrest. The riots organisation through social media has brought scrutiny to platforms like X, formerly Twitter, especially for allowing far-right figures like Tammy Robinson to return and spread divisive propaganda. Hope Not Hate, an anti-racism charity, noted the dangerous impact of this online activity. Starmer doubled down on labelling the rioters as far-right thugs, a stance that faced backlash online. In response to the riots, Elon Musk commented that civil war is inevitable, a remark the UK Prime Minister's spokesperson dismissed, as unjustifiable plans for violent gatherings have circulated on messaging apps like Telegram, using coded language to incite anger against immigration while avoiding explicit calls for violence. A list of migration centres has been shared in these groups ahead of expected unrest. ITV News reported that a man previously convicted of being part of a banned neo-Nazi group was seen at the Southport protests, which ignited far-right actions across the country. Right-wing figures have stoked anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant sentiments online, while distancing themselves from the subsequent violence. Among those spreading misinformation is Andrew Tate, who falsely claimed that the Southport stabbings were committed by an undocumented migrant, despite the suspect being UK-born. His video, viewed 15 million times on X, remains online. Prime Minister Keir Starmer, just a month into his leadership, is facing his first major crisis. In 2011, he oversaw the swift prosecution of rioters as Director of Public Prosecutions following unrest in London. Now, he has similarly extended court hours to handle the current wave of riots. However, Starmer faces additional challenges in 2024, with Britain's public services under strain. Prisons are nearing capacity, and MPs are pressuring Starmer to recall Parliament from recess to address the crisis. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to be updated about things happening all over the world.